Hello and welcome to the show. We are here on Forza Horizon 4 with a challenge. We are going soapbox racing. Admittedly, in the snow is not the easiest of conditions to be going soapbox racing. However, we have got 4-car heat, top 2 going through to a semi-final, bottom 2 going into the epic spanner final, which will be a 6-car melee down this quite narrow road, and then we're going to semi-finals and on to a 4-car final. The road weaves its way down, there is a little river crossing, and when the cars touch the tarmac, that is where the finish line is. Vehicles have proved a little bit difficult to get going. Sometimes they launch, sometimes they seem a little bit inconsistent getting going. We might see some cars essentially getting stuck off the line. Soapbox racing basically means running without any engine power. With the clutch held in, people rev the engines and the cars should start to roll. We have no manual control over handbrake and so on. But we should be good to go. We are off for the 2CV. A little bit of lag for the Integra. It's a very, very good start from the Audi as it accelerates away down the mountain. Now, this isn't as long a soapbox course as we've had in Blizzard Mountain, but it is the longest that we can do. Comes the Audi, followed by the Anglia, followed by the Integra, then followed by the 2CV. We have got some nasty corners to worry about. The first one is coming up. The 2CV is actually really struggling for speed down here. The Audi has got a nice big lead. The Integra is to the inside, trying to get that stop. They bang doors. Not something you want to be doing, and there is very thick snow on the inside. If you go too far to that inside line, you are going to be in a lot of trouble losing momentum. The Audi is going to come past in the lead. The 2CV's up to third place. There goes the Anglia. 2CV is through. The Integra looks pretty decent down here, but went for an overtake. It didn't quite pull off. And if you lose momentum on a course like this, you're going to be in trouble. The Audi continues on. The Integra battling with that 2CV. Anglia is actually a little bit of trouble here from the Citroen. The Citroen's got a very good run. However, as we come up towards the final corner, the Audi's going to get through the water. You've got to have enough momentum to get out of the water and across the line. There goes the Audi. Here comes the Anglia through the water. The 2CV's through the water. The Integra is right there. Or the RSX, I should say, technically, is right there. Could not quite do anything about it. That means the Audi and Anglia will be through to the semi-finals. The RSX and 2CV will have to close between all three of them at the back there. So I'm up in the second heat. I'm up against a 959 Dakar vehicle, the tiny classic Porsche, so the two kind of latest DLC cars, a BMW M2, and I've got a big old Buick, because that's definitely the best route to go through. I decided to go for a little bit of weight behind my car and the hope that I can get through the river better. The hope that I can get through the river, the hope that in the deep snow I might stand a little bit of a chance of getting through. The M2 got a good start, however, is now struggling to pick up speed. The Porsche, the wooden Porsche is now getting a little bit of speed. The BMW's really not got going. They're really not got going. I can get back on the main route. Random cars turning up in the middle of a soapbox race. Thankfully, they're all ghost mode. Now, I am wanting to stay on the road. I don't really want to cut through the deep snow because the speed you're going to lose by doing such is quite a lot, although I've actually got a bit too wide in the Buick. That is not really what I wanted to do. The 959 is to the inside. That BMW is really struggling down here. The 959 had a go, but it's actually not quite got as good a run off that corner as I was expecting it to. These are the tighter of the hairpins. There will need to be a bit of careful managing the brake through there. Again, the Porsche is better through the turns. The Porsche has more grip. However, I seem to be able to do... I think I'm doing a bit better at getting through the snow. It is very close, though, now, as we head to the final corner. I don't want to go on that deeper snow. I think the Porsche is going to put me there. Who gets through the water better is very even. I will take a victory for the Buick. We will make it through to the semi-final. The Porsche will come with us. However, that's very close between the pair of us. Actually, a very close heat all round. BMW struggle, though. Initial start was good, and then really struggled to get going again. They will have another chance, though, in the spanner final. So, we move on to the final of the heats, comprised of two Bond cars. The BMW Z8, the AMC Hornet, a modern Honda Civic Type R, and many rally lights on a Fairlady Z. In fact, 2 different colours of rally lights. I think that's bonus points. Like, that many rally lights is bonus points, and 2 different colours is definite extra bonus points. Should be an interesting one between this group, the Hornet and Fairlady, perhaps on the slightly thicker snow, although I don't know if it makes too much difference in terms of sort of getting started. Chances are everyone's going to sort themselves out by the time, well, they get a little bit further down. Hopefully everything is going to get off the line. No problem. Here we go. It is a start for 3 of them. The Hornet had trouble getting that thing going. That's going to be a long road back for the AMC. It is absolutely side by side for the Civic and the BMW as we trundle down the hill. As we saw, you know, speeds don't really get that great. It's about 60 miles an hour the vehicles top out at. And they still, though, side by side, heading down towards the first corner. The thing is, side by side is not helpful for speed, really. The more you're going, well, too wide, you're going to bump into one another. You're going to end up out wide. You're basically both losing momentum, and I'm crashing my drone trying to get artistic camera shots. And that will give the Fairlady a better chance. It'll give them a better run, although they're going to have a lot of work. So they're still side by side. I'm quite impressed. Actually, it's remaining side by side. Now the Civic will get that position as they head towards the second of the hairpins. The Fairlady is throwing in quite hard through all of that. It's got the reverse lights on. Won't matter, the clutch is being held in. It's not going to slow them or change anything about the vehicle. The Civic is going to head towards the final corner and through the water splash for the Honda. It will be a victory for the Civic. BMW will take second. BMW didn't seem like the water all that much. Fairlady third. Had a good start, but didn't really ever get going after that. And the Hornet will make its way across the line. Struggled to get the thing going, and I don't think it was massively suited to the course. Even once it did get going, was struggling perhaps a little bit. But they will go into the Spanner final. They will get another chance. They will join me and 3 other cars already through to the semi-finals. So we have got 2 more places for vehicles in the semi-final. That means, well, a Spanner final. All the vehicles that got 3rd and 4th are into one group. The top 2 from this will secure places into the semi-finals. The RSX, the BMW, Fairlady Z, a wooden Porsche, a 2CV, and the Hornet are lined up on the grid. It's quite busy, shall we say. It's not the widest bit of road, and it's likely to be a little bit chaos. There's a reason why we do these as a 4-vehicle thing. I think there might be a little bit of lag for the wooden Porsche going on there. BMW is again off to a fantastic start. The Hornet got away well, but then got stuck in traffic and lost a fair bit of the momentum. Fairlady Z is battling with the RSX. Now, neither of them really want to be doing that. You're better off. You want to be running in clean air to try and chase down the 2 further up. It's actually quite a nice lead that the BMW has got this time around. We head into the first corner. BMW is through, Porsche is through, Fairlady is almost into the drone around the outside. It's a long way around the outside, but if you can get the exit, you might stand a chance of carrying the speed. The 2CV is terrible initially, but does get going further down. 2CV is actually carrying very good speed through these corners. As we head around the second of the hairpins, the BMW continues to lead, followed by the Porsche. The Fairlady's actually making up some good ground now, the 2CV leaning its way around the turn. The Fairlady is actually really threatening that Porsche. That could be interesting coming through the water splash if the Porsche loses too much momentum. The BMW, that is going through the water and is going to take a victory. The Porsche tries to dive. They're all trying to dive as shortcut through the water as possible. The Porsche will get it. The Fairlady will have to settle for 3rd. The RSX couldn't manage more than 4th. The Hornet beats the 2CV in the end. Not quite sure what happened to those 2 across the line. But there we have it. 2 cars through from the Spanner final. BMW and the woodenest of Porsches will join the rest of us in the next round. On to the first of our semi-finals. It will be featuring my Buick, the classic wooden Porsche, the Civic Type R, and the Anglia. 1 modern car, 2 very classic cars. My Buick as a kind of, I guess, mildly classic car. It's a bit of a classic car. I think I might stand a chance of getting second. The Civic is pretty good down here, so that might be a challenge. It's a good test, really, of the Buick's ability. If the Buick can keep with the Civic, then it might be looking pretty. It might be looking pretty good for us come the final. A little bit of shuffling as cars try to get the clutch ready for this one. It's a little shame that can sometimes stick on the old getting going. Yep, it stuck for me and it stuck for the Porsche as well. So that's a little bit unfortunate for us in the getting going. Now we have got it started. The Buick isn't a quick, even if I do get through cleanly, the Buick isn't a very fast starter. However, it does get going very, very well in the secondary phase of the launch. The Civic has got off the line very well indeed. I'm putting the Anglia already under a lot of pressure. Onto the outside for the hairpin. Probably the preferred line through all of this. Don't really want to go in the thick snow. However, the Anglia is going to run us right to the outside of the road. We are going to stay there, though. We're going to keep it alongside the Ford. Then the Civic's gone. I mean, the Civic's gone, and it's also got... Oh, I don't really want to be taking that. I was very much pushed across that inside line. I'm going to push back. You know, I've got a big Buick. You want to fight like this? I can fight like this. I have got the car to fight like this. We're going to run a wider line, trying to make sure we can keep up the momentum on the exit. Now, that's going to help the Porsche out in catching us, although I think the Porsche is a little bit too far back in all of that. It's not a very good run between me and the Anglia just fought each other too much. The Civic is going to get through in a first place. The Civic will be into the final. My Buick will also make it to the final. The Porsche very nearly got the Anglia. I don't think it quite did. Porsche going for a shorter run through the water. Perfectly allowed if you want to try and make that one work. Civic is through. It looks promisingly quick, although I did have a poor start and battled an Anglia for most of the way, so will be interesting to see. Certainly we are at least through to the final at the end of the day. Well, as we are starting to lose the light, our second semi-final is a rather German affair. We have an Audi RS4, the 959 Dakar vehicle, the BMW M2, and the BMW Z8. The M2, well, me and the 959 beat it in the heat, although it had clutch problems getting started and getting going, so that might explain some of the distance. The RS4 looked very fast, if it can get off the line well. Also, I like how the RS4 has got the blue headlights and everyone else has got the yellow headlights. It'll be an atmospheric sunset soapbox race between this group. There is, again, the BMW's initial launch is amazing, and then it gets absolutely annihilated by everything. I wonder what it is. That's really strange. I mean, the 959 had nowhere to go, and the RS4 got a little bit stuck on the thicker snow, which didn't help it. It's now all single file. It's who's going to be able to carry the quarter speed. Z8 struggled off the line a little bit, is behind them. The 959 is looking to the outside. You want that outside line if you can get it, but you really don't want to be on the thick snow. There's a very fine line. The 959 is going for a tighter. Now, that's risky. The problem you have is the exit. This might actually open the door for the RS4 to get the pair of them. I'm actually surprised the 959 made that one work. The snow is so thick and the line is so tight, it tends not to actually be very fast at all through that. The BMW is going to potentially be looking for something into this next hairpin, as we have some horns from the spectators. A little bit of bump between the pair of them. That could be an opportunity for the RS4 here. It's looking and looking, and it might actually be able to get the run on the BMW around the outside. No, it can't seem to do it. The 959 is going to go through, whereas the Victor, the RS4 has actually fallen back a little bit at the end of this. The BMW quite slow through the puddle, however, or through the river. It is the BMW through. The RS4 will take third. Couldn't quite do it. The Z8 will come home in a last position. A good race. First time I've actually seen any sort of pass to the inside actually work there. I'm very, very surprised that the M2 couldn't get a drive off the exit. However, both cars will make it through to the final. Well, night might have fallen, but we are ready to go with the final. My Buick, the Civic Type R, the Porsche 959 and the BMW M2 are lining up at the top of the mountain. 3 cars from my heat are in this. The BMW coming through the Spanner final to make it here. The Civic, I am scared of. The Civic was very quick in my previous round. However, I was battling the Anglia. I need a good start here. We need a good start to try and hopefully get clear of all of this. 959 is still lagging slightly and pinging forward. There we go. There is the off. The BMW once again gets that epic start. I'm going to get squeezed. We're going to get squeezed. I can't move anywhere, people. I'm in the middle of this. You see, the BMW got the epic start. I couldn't go anywhere because I was pinned between the pair of them when I got a better secondary phase of it. Now the BMW is actually in a pretty good position because BMW's weakness is that secondary part of the launch in a weird sort of a way. The Civic got tangled up in that and has lost some time. I'm trying to run this in a little bit wider. We're trying to get that exit on the M2. The 959's taken that tighter line and has got speed. The Civic's taken the wider line and has got speed on me as well. 959's just buzzing the limiter. I can do that as well. It won't make any difference. The 959 is going to get me, though, in all of that, although it's going to be too far back from the M2 to really do very much. The Civic's going to fly to the inside of me, but he won't have the momentum off of that corner. We will have the better run there. We do actually have a pretty good run on the two cars up ahead, but it's too much fighting. If I could have got that secondary phase of the launch a little bit better. We're going to try for the shorter run across there. It won't matter. It's going to be first for the M2, second for the 959. I will have to settle for a third position. The Civic will come home. And it was just we got stuck. We got stuck behind. Because we all got such a good launch and the BMW was slow in the mid-phase, or the sort of the secondary bit of that go, it cost the Buick momentum, cost the Civic momentum, the 959 not as much. Unfortunately, well, it's going to be a third place. We made it to the final. The BMW comes from the Spanner final to take a victory, which is a... Well, I'd say it's quite a turnaround. It's always good to see. If we could have got that launch a bit better, it would have been a different story. As I said, the launch is so very important. So very, very important in this kind of racing. And there we go. That is it for some soapbox racing. We may well come back to this at a later date when there's less snow around the place. That thick snow on the outside of the course does make things quite interesting. I'm sure we'll come back to soapbox racing. It's good fun. That, though, will be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.